Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we got a pretty simple build. It's pretty small. It's only a little 4x4 warehouse foundation that you'll be building here. So what is this building? It is a trading hall type deal. I actually had a viewer recently. They were looking for a build to like have all your traders centralized and everything. Just a good location where you can go and have all your vendors and just do some trading, make some caps, sell some stuff, buy some stuff. And I think this is a pretty decent design right here. It streamlines the process of buying and selling. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what the inside looks like real quick. As you can see on the front here, we have this little patio, just a little way to get up in here. There's nothing too decorated inside of here, but you can see the roof is pretty tall in the center. You have your traders on each side. You have your weapons, armor, and clothing. On the other side, you have your bar, general trader, and your clinic. And then if you actually go behind here, this is how they get into their shops. And they have a little sleeping bed that they can sleep on right behind them. It's the same thing on both sides. And I wanted to kind of have this like stripe design where the glass would go completely over the top of the warehouse and down to the other side. So that was the point of this. And also just to give it a nice big open feel, because from the outside the building does look pretty solid, like you can't really see too much. But when you're actually inside of here, it's really open, really nice. And you don't feel like you're too cramped up. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you guys how to build it. Okay, so we'll build it right next to there. We're going to go to open our build menu. We're going to go to structures, and then we're going to go over to warehouse. And we're going to go over to floors. And again, you can do this with barns. You can do this with warehouse. It just doesn't really matter. I prefer warehouse just because it looks better to me. So we're going to go ahead and grab our foundation here. And we'll go ahead and place this down. It's going to be a 4x4 that we're placing. So you're going to place one. You're going to go back 4. And then you're going to go to the right. Alright, so you have your 4x4 foundation laid out. Again, it's not a big footprint, pretty decent size though. What you're going to want to do now is go over to walls. Grab these solid pieces and put 2 of them on each corner like so. So just on each corner, just do this. Okay, so we've got those 4 corners placed out. Next, we're going to want to choose which way we want our front to be. This is going to be the front of my building. Again, just either one of these could be the front of yours. Depending on what's the front, you're going to put the big barn doors right here. So you're going to put one here and this one right there. On the opposite end, we're going to put windows. So you're going to put the solid windows with no cracks in it. I just think it looks best. And you do the same thing on these sides as well. Okay, that's the basic structure of the first floor here. As you can see, this is the entrance, and this is the 2 sides, and then that's the back. All right, next we'll go ahead and add the roof, or part of the roof at least. So we're gonna grab the piece with the bracing on it, put one here, and one here, and then lastly 2 on the other side. Perfect. So that's the orientation you want to have for both of them. Okay. Next, we're gonna grab our walls again. We're going to go over to the corner pieces here. We're going to fill in these corners real quick. Go over to the other side and do the same thing. We're going to scroll over to where we have the half walls at. This one right here. We're going to put one up here, one up there, and then put 2 over here. On top of those half walls, we're actually going to go ahead and put these window pieces. So you'll put those up there, just like so. There you go. So we've got those placed in there. All right, from here, we're going to go ahead and try to snap in these individual stalls. So we're going to take a doorway like this, and we're going to place it along here. And then on this is the left side. So just because of how those counters work, we're going to want to use this piece specifically. Notice how the exposed framing is on the right side. That's what we want. And we're going to go ahead and snap it in like this, all the way to the end. Okay. And then on the other side, we're going to go back and grab the doorway. So this doorway right here, we're going to have the exposed framing facing us. And then we're going to go back over to that barn door. And then on this side, we want the same piece where the framing is open to us like that on the right. And there you go. So I know you're probably wondering, okay, this is not symmetrical. It's not the same exact on each side when you use this over here. The reason why you don't do that, and let me show you real quick, is because of the way the counters work. So as you can see, like the traders kind of sit to the left side of the counter. This is the display portion. So we're just going to have this kind of like shoved off to the side. And that's why you don't want to have this, you know, sitting right there, so they can actually use their station. Okay, now it's time to set up their rooms. So you're going to grab the doorways, and you'll go ahead and place these just like this. Okay, same thing on the other side. There we go. So now each settler or each vendor will have their own little room. Okay. Next thing, we're going to grab our half wall, this one right here. And we're going to go ahead and place these along the top here. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay. We're going to go over to roof, the roof section, and we're going to grab our glass roof. This one right here. Put one here, one there, and then one here, and one there. Okay. We're almost done with the bottom floor here, so we're going to go over to those triangular pieces. We're going to go to these. We're going to place these over here, one right there. Skip the glass one, and go right there. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So one right here, and then one right there. Okay. And then we're going to actually scroll over to the glass triangle pieces. So this one, you're going to place this one above here, and you're going to place this one above there. Okay. So you've pretty much got the bottom floor completed, or I'll say bottom floor, it's only a one-story building. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and scroll back over. Well, actually, while we have this available to us, the glass half wall, you're going to place one right here, one right there, and then two more on the other side. All right, and then we'll scroll all the way back over to our half wall. There we go, this one right here, and we'll place this up top. It gets a little weird, so you want to make sure you snap it in right. There we go. There you go. Perfect. So now we have that major structure done. Now all we gotta do is fill in the roof. So we're gonna grab our glass roofs, since we already have them highlighted. We're gonna go ahead and bring these up here. That one there. That one there. And once we have those glass roofs in place, we're going to scroll over to the roof with the bracing on it. Okay, and once you have those roofs in place, we're going to go back over to walls and grab our triangle pieces. There you go. And that's pretty much the structure of this place done. Let's go ahead and add the patio. So you get these little 2x1 see-through pieces I like to use. Put them in front just like so. You end up with this kind of look right there. We'll scroll over to Warehouse Miscellaneous, grab the short post, put one on each side that sinks into the ground to kind of make it look like it's getting some kind of support. Okay, after that we'll go over to stairs, get the short stairs, and we'll put them in front like this. And then the last thing we're going to do is go over to Concrete Miscellaneous under Structures, and then you'll get your railings to go along the front here. There we go. And that's pretty much the entire structure of the building here. Alright, so finally I'm going to show you guys how to place the stores the way I have them. So I'm a little finicky. You guys should know that with how I like to place my stuff. I like everything to be lined up perfectly. So the way I do this is I put the bar in the corner over here, and then you're going to go ahead and go up to this wall, and the way I line things up is I drag it back and forth to see how much of the wall, so like if part of it, I mean that's pretty much lined up perfectly, so we're good. I'd say a little bit to the left there. Basically you want the entire wall to disappear at the same time. If a certain section of it disappears like that, that means so if most of it's appearing on the left, you want to turn it to the right just a tad like that. And so when I pull it forward, everything should appear at once. So then I'm gonna go ahead and place that down here. I'm not gonna use my right stick to put this in place at all. What I'm gonna do is grab it, use my left stick just for walking. We're gonna bring it till it just clips in about an inch there, and then we're gonna come to the front and we're gonna bring it into the wall a little bit as well, just about here. Basically you want this to kind of go as far over as you can, so just like that. Let's say right about here, just before it touches this. Okay, so that's the bar, and now from here these snap together, so we should be able to line them up, and they all should have about the same amount of clippage. So let's see, I did the general store next. Okay, and then lastly we did the clinic over here. There we go. And then like I said, yep, just a bare minimum amount of clippage right there. Perfect. So you have these lined up over here. Alright, and then on this side what I did was I had the clothing vendor in the back corner. So we'll go ahead and grab this one, do the same thing on this side, line it up with the wall, and you can see when I drag it back how the right side's disappearing first. That means it's skewed too much to the left, or yeah, so we're gonna correct that by bringing it to the right. And just whenever everything kind of disappears at once like that, that's how you know it's lined up with the actual building. So we'll place it down, go over here, make sure it's kind of clipping just a tad into that wall right there. I'm pointing at this right here. Okay, and then we're gonna bring this over, I'd say just about there. Okay, perfect. Let's see, it's clipping just enough. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, we'll go to armor, put this one over here. As you can see, it's clipping into the wall just a little bit. Weapons will be the last one, and there you go, everything snaps into place. All looks like it's part of the build. And that's how you make a trading emporium area, whatever you want to call it. A trading hall. There we go. That's the term I'm looking for. You can put beds behind there, decorate it with certain stuff, like say for the weapons guy, you could have some weapon display stuff behind here. Over here you could have some armor display mannequins. Over here you could have clothing displays. For the bar, you could have like some drinks or something showing behind here. General trader, just throw a bunch of junk in there. And then for the clinic, of course, you'd have like a little hospital set up behind here. But for the most part, I mean, I'm going to leave the decoration up to you guys. That's how to build the actual trading hall. I like this design a lot. I think it looks pretty nice. Alright, boys and girls, so that's going to wrap it up for this build. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.